is the catcher.
That's a rarity.
First pitch is in there for a strike.
It's tough to find a catcher that can run as well as he can.
Oh, we found a few in this league. You know, the Big Ten seems to have several catchers who are quick. Joe Perona over at Northwestern. Mulligan over at Illinois.
In the big leagues, you got a guy like Ron Karkovice. He's got surprising speed. He can steal a base if he has to.
And Durant has stolen 15. Down to third base and through. Holding at second is Klodnik. And the second hit off Brent Davis finds the Buckeyes with an early threat. 1 out, 2 on.
Here we see it again. It's a little slider, cut fastball that he just drilled through the hole there for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting.
And here is Greg Fry, the right fielder and cleanup hitter. Fry with a couple of home runs in this tournament already yesterday. Takes the strike on the inside corner. Greg Fry from Cincinnati, 6'2", 195-pound senior. Got a lot of numbers to talk about. .337 batting average on the year with 4 home runs and 22 runs batted in. But also has been the only Ohio State quarterback to throw for 2,000 yards for 3 straight years. Takes a strike right there.
Can do it all.
Well, you know that Woody's been gone a while if they're throwing for 2,000 yards at Ohio State. Here's Greg Fry. Didn't play baseball for 3 years, then came back. And is playing the game for Bob Todd. Now he's batting cleanup in the championship game. Off-speed pitch. And the wind is holding this one up. Left fielder Greg Johnson, and 2 away.
That's what he's going to have to do against a good hitting ball club like Ohio State. He's going to have to mix those pitches up, and definitely you don't want to get behind on these guys. You want to stay ahead in the count so you can't mix those pitches up and pitch the pitches that you want to pitch. Set those guys up.
Here's Matt Bann, 5th-year senior first baseman. Swinging strike from Brent Davis. Bann, 300 or better most of the year, has fallen to 298, 37 runs batted in. 5th-year senior from Munhall, Pennsylvania. Into the gap in left center, but the center fielder is there. So, 2 hits in the inning, but no runs scored. 2 left on. We're through 1. No score. Top of the second, Ohio State had a threat in the bottom of the first with first and second and only 1 man out. But Brent Davis bore down and got the job done. There is Tom Schwarber, who had a 1-2-3 first with 2 strikeouts. He will be facing some pretty heavy lumber, or aluminum, if you will, in the top half of the second inning. Jeff Munson, the first baseman, followed by John Kopp for the right fielder, and the catcher, Brian Hartman. Munson, a big game in the first game of this tournament.
Leading off the Minnesota second, the first baseman, number 20, Jeff Munson.
7 runs batted in.
Ooh.
That's a week.
That's swinging it.
45 runs batted in, along with 5 home runs for the regular season. On the outside corner is strike 1. Munson, a senior from Bloomington, Minnesota. Good contact hitter, as well as one with power. And again, Schwarber finds that outside corner.
Yeah, I don't want to play front runner or anything, but I like this guy already.
Well, a lot of people do. He won 11 straight over 2 seasons, and he's 12-1 on the year. Had some arm problems, but he is back.
You'd say that again. Peppered the outside corner twice and then jammed him up inside. He didn't have a very good swing at that inside fastball.
0-2. Wasted that one high and away. Those 7 runs batted in, by the way, in case you were wondering, a Big Ten playoff record for that man right there. In tight, it's 2-2. On deck, right fielder John Kopfer. 2-2 pitch, and tough pitch to take, but down a little low. So maybe you put the jinx on Schwarber, Jerry. He's come back with 3 straight bad pitches. Here's the payoff. To left field, Minn holds it up, and between the shortstop and the left fielder, it falls in. Here's the play at second base. And he is out. Wallenberg and Klotnick were having a problem deciding who would take that ball. It started out easily as a left fielder's play, but it kept blowing in, and heads up by the Ohio State Buckeyes to get Kopfer at second base.
The left fielder is going to have to take charge at this point. That ball was deep enough that he had to call that shortstop off. Here we see it again. Hit off the end of the bat. Nice off-speed pitch. The left fielder's got to take charge here, but he does not.
Well, the wind kept blowing it black.
And that's a tragedy.
It kept blowing back, but the shortstop throws him out short to second on the assist, so Munson's out of there. It's a different kind of 6-4 play.
I think they've been working on that, though.
There's John Kupfer, who is the next scheduled batter. The trainer has just gone out to take a look at Wallenberg, the shortstop, who went head over heels on that one. It's been a very tricky win. Here's Doug talking to the trainer,
asking him his name and where he lives and stuff like that.
It's okay.
He got thumped pretty good out there. He's a tough guy.
Most instances in this park, that ball will take the left fielder back a few steps. And there are not many steps you can go in this park with 340 down the line and 370 to dead center. Kopfer hits this one the opposite way, and it's foul. Greg Fry again will run out of room. So scored a single to left, outstretching, shortstop to the second baseman. Kupfer batting .333 with 20 doubles, 7 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Evens the count at 1-1. His brother Ross plays for Wisconsin. We saw him. Mom and Dad are in the stands, and they wear 2 hats.
Equal time.
Absolutely. John, 6'3", 205-pound senior. And there's a good look at Tom Schwarber. Counts even now at 2-2. 2-2 pitch, and Kupfer waited on it and gets a base hit.
Yeah, that off-speed slider on the outside corner and just served it out to right field. It's pitcher's pitch. But he managed to squeeze it out there.
Well, throwing Munson out at second base is certainly a big play now, with Kupfer following with a base hit to center field instead of first and second, or second and third, or a run in. There's a runner on first and 1 man out. Here is Brian Hartman, the catcher from Arlington, Minnesota, a junior. 23 runs batted in for the year. And this one foul behind the Minnesota dugout. Well, as threatening as the weather was this morning, it certainly looks as though there'll be no problem getting this ball game in.
Turned out to be a beautiful day.
And the wind is going to play some interesting tricks on the batters and the pitchers. Fielders as well. Look good to a lot of people on the Ohio State side, but not to the plate umpire. So counts 1-1.
That pitch came across the plate high. Came down into the strike zone after it passed home plate. Deceiving to a lot of people.
Hartman's giving Minnesota some good offense as well as defense, and slicing this one down past the Gophers bullpen. Quite a pitching staff Ohio State has put together. Schwarber the most wins, but there are 3 guys with him who have done extremely well. Scott Klingenbeck, Blaze Sparma, and Tim Smith. Oh, off the glove of the first baseman. And holding at second will be Munson. Matt Bann seemed to have it in his glove, but glanced off and down the line, and it's another base hit.
Here we see it again, and possibly that's what happened. He probably thinking about doubling the runner off and took a look at the bag instead of following the ball into his glove. It was a nice play by Greg Fry, the right fielder, to back that up to keep the runner from going to third base.
So Minnesota now has a threat going with first and second, and only 1 man out. And here is Greg Johnson. Johnson played third base some this year. We saw him there, and he had some defensive problems, moved him back to the outfield. A senior from Edina, Minnesota, has had few problems with his bat, with an average above 330. Runners at first and second, 1 man out. Outfield is playing him straight away, but shaded over somewhat in center toward right as an opposite field hitter. The center fielder, Joe Robinson, you see playing about 2 or 3 steps over on the right side of second base. Fouled away and back. On deck, the designated hitter, Ryan Lefevre.
And one interesting thing, too, they're not only playing him away, they're pitching him away. The catcher's set up on the outside, and they want everything away. So if you're going to play him to the right side of the diamond, you got to pitch him that way so he can hit the ball over there.
That's a good observation. 1 man out, 2 runners lead away. Not a lot of speed on the base paths. Down low, 2-1. Is Doug Wollenberg, the shortstop, keeping Kupfer close, but Kupfer not a real threat to steal. Hartman at first base. 2-1 pitch. Now over but low, and it's 3-1. And Schwarber 1 pitch away from loading up the bases. FOG full of Gophers. Rob Fornacier, third base coach, flashing the signs. Relayed from Coach John Anderson in the Minnesota dugout. 1 man out. 3-1 pitch. Could be 2. Nice short hop by Woldenberg. And the double play. 6-4-3. So Minnesota gets a couple of runners on, but nothing happens. No runs, 3 hits. 1 man left. After 1.5, no score.
Minnesota in the second, no runs, 3 hits, there were no Ohio State errors, and there was 1 man left.
A look at downtown Columbus as we greet you from Ohio State University. This, the 11th Big Ten Baseball Championship. The Buckeyes against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Illinois won this the last 2 years. The Illini did not make the tournament this year. Ohio State finished 4th 3 years ago, 3rd 2 years ago, 2nd last year. And I guess the progression should tell you that they're going to win it, but I think Minnesota may have other ideas. They have won a team record 50 ball games. They are ranked in the top 15 in the country. And they have put together a fine season. The only real glitch were those 3 losses to Minnesota back in April that you and I saw. 3 out of 4. Here's Jamie Taylor, one of the big bats of the Buckeyes. Big Ten home run leader. He's got 14 on the year. Third baseman. Offers at that one. He had Mobilia at third base playing somewhere near downtown.
Not expected to bunt with the power this guy's got.
205-pounder, a sophomore from Bloomingdale. There's Mobilia at third. He's not being conned by Taylor. He'll stay back there. Pitch is up high, so it counts even at 1-all. Jamie Taylor likes to be called Bubba. So there are 2 Big Ten Bubbas, and both of them have an awful lot of power. Bubba Smith at Illinois had 18 homers this year. Scuffed this one, did Jamie. Had an incredible week. Actually, an incredible series. 12 for 20 against Purdue. 5 home runs in 4 ball games. That was back earlier in the season. 15 runs batted in, 8 runs scored. That was in 6 games for the week. He has had problems, though, since actually since the Minnesota series, where he hit 2 mammoth shots. He's only hit 2 the rest of the year. Bob Todd says he's pulling off the ball, and Jerry, you could probably analyze that better than just about anyone.
That's right. He's even when he hit home runs, they were in bunches, and that could be a problem.
You saw him fish for the off-speed pitch there, so that's the first strikeout for Brent Davis.
Designated hitter.
It's a nice slider from the left-hander. Pepper in that outside corner, got him reaching. When you hit home runs in bunches that way, you know, you get to feeling overconfident. You start swinging too hard and naturally pulling your head off the ball and not making contact at all.
Here is Dean Mueller. Mueller, a senior from Coldwater, Ohio, designated hitter, into the lineup because of an injury to Ken Turpak, who had been the DH all year. Fouls this one back. 0-2. Turpak suffered what could have been a very serious injury when he was in a collision at Michigan State. Turned out he had a ripped spleen, collapsed in his hotel room, and they got him attention quickly. He's fine. He's back in school, but obviously has finished playing baseball for the rest of the season. So Dean Mueller gets his chance. And tough pitch to take. Makes it check it. The count is 1-2.
I can tell we're going to have a great ball game today. These pitchers, man, they're really hitting their spots.
Mueller hits this one to Gates at short.
A human vacuum cleaner.
2 up, 2 away. Hey, watch Brent Gates move, especially on fields that are, shall we say, of uneven quality, and you can see the reflexes this young man has.
Yeah. He made a play in the first game that was fantastic. The ball was on him and made a terrible hop. Stay right with it. The concentration in his eyes when he's feeling ground ball is unbelievable. And this guy, he's got big leagues written on him.
He'll be eligible for the draft this year and is expected to go very high. #1 pick, possibly. Here's Jeff Anderson, the second baseman. And Anderson with a big cut. #8 hitter, but a big RBI man. Led the team in runs batted in last year from the #8 spot. He's got 42 this year, which is good for third. And had a big run batted in against Northwestern in the opening game of this playoff. Anderson, a switch hitter again. Had been batting exclusively from the right side, but switched over toward the end of the year and hit a home run left-handed, his first in the first game against NU. Davis low with that one. It's 2-1. Anderson only 165 pounds. 5'10" junior from Canton, Ohio. As you look at Brent Davis, picked up a save in the first game today, so he didn't have to warm up much for this one. Only won 1/3 of an inning. And again on the outside corner. 2-2.
Pulled a Wilbur Wood stunt. He finished one game, and then that was against New York, I think, back in '75. He finished up a game that we had to finish against New York that ended tied. We ended up winning that ball game, and he won the next game. So he won 2 games in a span of 4 hours.
Center field, Schwackel. Well, again, 3 up and 3 down. End of 2, no score. We go to the top of the 3rd inning, and I hear there's an expression, being a city kid, I don't know for sure, but when the cows lay down in the field, it's going to rain. Well, they are just taking it easy as you can right now.
That's what you call laid back.
Well, that's what you call a tough sky. They said 30% chance for rain, and that 30% was put together by a pretty bad math professor this morning, if you had been around here. That partly cloudy was teeming. Here's Ryan Lefevre, designated hitter, batting in the number 8 position. Lefevre missed the last couple of weeks of the season, strained his arch, and that really inhibits him running. Still not ready to play the field. Just started the other day DHing again. Good numbers, 329 batting average. Excellent speed. Could be the top defensive center fielder in the Big Ten. His dad is Jim, manager of the Seattle Mariners. Right in there from Schwarber for a strike.
Yeah, he's just pouring it in there. He's feeling strong today.
Lefevre. It's this one to the opposite field. Robinson, shallow center, 1 away. Jerry, the ball is not carrying it all today, and that is very unusual for this ballpark.
Yes, the wind usually blows out, but I guess with the rain situation here, the wind is blowing a different direction today. And that's going to help Minnesota, probably, because it'll shut down the power of this Ohio State team. So we're looking to see a great ball game today. We got guys out here hitting their spots in Schwarber, and it's going to be a great ball game.
A look at the crowd, and it's very comfortable right now as long as the rain stays away. This is Billy Mobilia, another one of the first-year players for John Anderson. Moved in at 3rd base when they moved Johnson back to the outfield, and Steve Calvert, another 3rd baseman or 2nd baseman too, developed some shoulder problems. So Mobilia's been in there and done a decent job for him. Gets a chance as a freshman.
That's going to help them for next year as well. I mean, this club has really shown a lot of heart using the 4 first-year players and being right in the thick of things right here in the Big Ten tournament. That's a lot of experience for them, putting on a lot of miles, and going to help them for next year. It's coming in strong.
Nothing fancy from Schwarber to Mobilia. He's just rearing back and throwing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, no score here. Ohio State, Minnesota. That fastball just missed. Mobilia redshirted last year. As a high school player, he earned 11 letters. Baseball, and football, and basketball. 3-2 pitch right there on the outside corner. Goodbye.
I don't know what he could be looking for in this situation.
3rd strikeout for Schwarber. Here it is.
Here it is, right down Broadway. Strike 3.
And watch the Ohio State dugout. Oh, yes. And he knew he was gone. Second time around the Minnesota lineup. Here is Darren Schwankel. Started out with a fly ball to left to center field to lead off the ball game. Schwankel from Burnsville, Minnesota. Played a year at the Air Force Academy and transferred back home to the U. Well, I'll tell you, when Schwarber just gets out there and fires, he's gone. Schwankel should say. And look at that. 4th strikeout, 2nd one looking. Mr. Schwankel grabs some bench, and Ohio State will come to bat. Still no score. The Buckeyes and the Gophers. Ohio Ohio State will come up the bottom of the third inning. No score here at their home site against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Both teams contending for the Big Ten championship. This is a double elimination tournament. Minnesota has a loss at the hands of the Buckeyes yesterday. Ohio State has so far gone 2 for 2. Here's Joe Robinson, the freshman. Good speed, good glove, and he's been in there now. There's Ohio State's finished the last 3 years, as we told you. If form holds true, they'll put up their first Big Ten championship since 1967. Ohio State won 3 in a row, 65, 66, and 67. All told, they've won 8. Robinson's numbers.
Pretty healthy hack right there. The fastball right down Broadway.
Robinson has been platooning, hitting against left-handers. Mike Mulligan will bat against the right-handed opponents. Foul tip, held in there by Hartman, and the count is 2-2.
I really like Brent Davis's poise out there. He's really relaxed and he's just flowing. He's effortless out there. Here's a good look at it.
Undefeated a year ago, and Robinson hits this one foul. Munson just watches it go into the crowd. You don't hold on to the baseballs here, folks. The budget says you return them. And there's a good look at Jeff Munson, also a first-team All-Big Ten selection, and I'd say the best defensive first baseman in the conference. No score, bottom of the third. Robinson against Davis, and Davis now runs the count to 3-2. Full count pitch to right field. Back is and Kupfer with the easy play. One away. And Ohio State will start its second go-round with Klodnik, who singled to left to open the game.
Left fielder Keith Klodnik.
Klodnik, 21-game hit streak to start the season. 2 short of the school record. And as we told you, is 8 for 9 in this tournament, going 7 for 7 before he made an out. That went a little close to his shins.
He's hot as a nuclear meltdown.
Okay. Okay. Klodnik, 345, his season's average. Davis comes in with the curveball, and he drops it on the outside corner. We're in the bottom of the third, no score. Both teams had early threats. Minnesota had 3 hits in the second inning, but had a runner thrown out at second base and did not score. This one hit deep. Way back. Goodbye. Keith Klodnik, his second home run of the tournament, and his 7th of the season. And the little guy has put the Buckeyes on the board. Wow, wind or no wind, Jerry, that didn't take much time getting out.
Everything was right on that swing. You can see it again. You're going to see some great mechanics here. Watch the weight shift. Head down. Super swing. You know it's gone. He's just going through the formalities, running the bases. He knows that's way out of here.
Third hit in the first run, given up by Brent Davis. Here's Doug Wallenberg, the shortstop. Wallenberg with the fly ball to center, his first time at bat. And that one hit Wallenberg in the box, foul ball. Well, Klodnik just latched onto that one and shook up Mr. Davis.
Rewriting the record books.
So now he is 9 for his last 10. Forget the Big Ten. He could be in the show in about 20 minutes.
See a few scouts parachuting in here. Check him out.
Pitch to Wollenberg is outside. Wollenberg came in at shortstop and did very well. He had a lot of big shoes to fill. Brady Stewart, who signed after his junior year in the Royals organization, and Doug stepped right in, right down to the third baseman Mobilia. Over to Munson, 2 away. Bring up the catcher, Mike Durant. Durant got a hit in the first inning. Durant's expected to be drafted too.
Pitcher, Mike Durant.
A little bit later when the Major League holds its college draft. And he sends this one down to third. Good stop by Mobilia. And the good throw. So a nice play by the third baseman closing out the inning. But the first run scores on the home run by Klodnik. That was the only hit. Nobody left on. Ohio State leads it 1-0.
1 run on 1 hit. There were no minutes to the error.
Watch the freshman here make the final out of the inning. Good play by Mobilia. Picks it up a la Brooks. Actually, that was more like a Clete Boyer play, and a nice stretch over there by Munson at first.
Kept his concentration even though he was down on both knees. Followed that ball into his glove, and that's what you have to do down there in the hot corner.
So Ohio State has the lead 1-0 as we go to the top of the fourth inning. Numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Minnesota. Merrill, the second baseman, Gates the shortstop, and Jeff Munson, the first baseman. Here's Mark Merrill, a strikeout victim in the first inning against Tom Schwarber. Again, the breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. Schwarber, with the exception of that one flurry in the second inning where he was touched up for 3 straight base hits, has been very much in command of this ball game. And there he is again. Just like that, it's 0-2.
He's mixing up with the breaking ball. It's 0-2. He hasn't shown him a fastball yet the second time around. So he's really mixing them up and got him confused. Got some runs. Got a run.
A fastball, the waist pitch there. And Bob Todd was saying that he likes Schwarber's ability to use the fastball to set up his breaking ball. Most times with pitchers, it's the other way around. There's the breaking ball again, and this one out in front of the plate. Schwarber will make the play.
Exactly. Now, if I was batting in that situation, you started me off with the 2 breaking balls for a strike, the fastball up and away, wasting it. If I'm hitting, I'm looking for a piece of gas on the inside corner. So I would have been off balance as well. So he's mixing them up very, very well.
Schwarber now facing Brent Gates, and the switch hitter bangs this one deep to right. Forget it. It's against the wall. Gates will go in standing with a double, but decides to slide anyway. And that one looked as though it was going to go out of here, but the wind knocked it down. Still, Greg Fry had no play on it. One bounce against the wall.
That was a rifle shot out there. Watch the mechanics here. He's going to have his head down and arms extended, and he just drills it. Nice, short, compact swing. A bullet off that right field wall.
And Brent Gates adds to his team record for doubles, coming up with double number 22 on the year. Brent Gates, they say, may be the best player ever to play for Minnesota. And when you think about the players they have or have had, that is some kind of compliment. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. Here's Jeff Munson. One man away to the right side, moving him over, and then some. What a piece of hitting by Munson, and here comes Gates to score easily.
I am sure that he saw the second baseman, Jeff Anderson, bluffing the runner Gates, and saw that hole open, and he just punched it right through. Watch him hold the head of that bat back and just punch it through the right side. A great piece of hitting. Get him over, get him in. Super job.
But that is just wonderful to watch when you talk about how much skill do you need to play this game. When you have bat control like that, that is excellent play. The RBI for Munson. He's on first. Here's Kupfer fouling it back.
That's what you call being fundamentally sound.
You bet. Well, and John Anderson takes a lot of pride in that. He talks about Northern baseball. You can't play as many games outside, so you go drill inside all winter. You drill, drill, drill in the field house. The way he loves to describe it, this team is overtrained and underplayed at the beginning of the year. But it certainly paid off with that kind of a play. Pitch out again. Not going. Was Munson from first. Kupfer got a hit his first time up. Single to center. Big hack at that one. 1-2. There's Schwarber. And there is Kupfer. 333 hitter on the year. On first base, Jeff Munson. He sent Brent Gates around after Gates had his 23rd double of the year. And this one, line drive, picked off at third. Back to first, but safe. Jamie Taylor makes the play to his right. And alert base running by Mr. Munson. Otherwise, he would have been a dead duck back at first.
That's right. You want to make sure that the ball is through the infield on a line like that. If he's off and running, he's a dead duck at first base, being double off. But smartly, he waited to see if the ball was through, and he was able to get back.
2 men away, so Munson stays at first. And he may have been shaken up. He's being checked out over there. Either that or he's got to get the dirt out of his uniform and doesn't want to do a Steve Lyons impression for the cameras. There we go. Okay, guess we have an equipment problem. Broke his belt buckle. That's all fixed up now. Bring up Ryan Hartman. Hartman, the catcher, single to right in his first at bat. 3 straight base hits in that second inning for Minnesota, but no runs. Here, they've got 2 hits, 3 balls that were hit very well. And the run is in to tie the score.
Munson and Kupfer hit off-speed pitches, so he's going to have to go back to his fastball. He's going to...
And he did. This one sliced to right. Fried to the line. And a foul ball.
He's fallen in love with his breaking ball, and that could prove to be detrimental if he stays in that mode. He's going to have to mix him up a little bit better now. He's getting hit off his breaking pitches, so he's jamming up. He's going to have to jam these guys up with his fastball and keep that in the back of their minds.
Brian Hartman checking the sign with the third base coach, Fornacier. No balls, 1 strike. 2 outs, a run in. Game's all tied at 1. Ohio State looking for its first Big Ten championship in 20-some years. Minnesota last won this back in '88. They've won 3 during the decades of the '80s. John Anderson has been in his 11th year as coach. His first year he won, and he's won 2 years after that. (0-2) to Hartman. And that one, nice stab by Durant.
That's when you want to have a good receiver back there. A lot of guys, that ball would have been off the screen.
Well, Mike Durant's about as good as they get. Excellent speed, good arm, good power. Certainly a pro prospect. 1-2 pitch coming from Schwarber. This is with the fastball there. Schwarber, one of 13 children. Mother's Day must be fun around his house, huh? Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And right in there on the lead And another strikeout, number 5 for Tom Schwarber. So Minnesota gets a run, a couple of hits, they leave a man. Through 3.5, we're tied at 1.
There were no Ohio State errors, and there was 1 runner left.
Well, the crowd's getting into this one. Yes, it's warm enough to stand there without a shirt, but who cares at this point? It's a championship season for Ohio State. Minnesota to send up the... Check it. The Buckeyes to send up the bottom third of the order. Against Brent Davis.
That's nice one right there, Kurt.
Each team with a run in its last at bat, so we're tied at 1. Here is Greg Fry, cleanup batter. Fly to left to his first at bat. Fry with lots of home run power. And a good cut of the fastball. Fry against the Gophers yesterday in their first meeting in the tournament. 3 for 6, 2 home runs and 5 RBI. He splits time in the outfield and right with Matt Vida, who plays against right-handers. The day before, Vida had 3 doubles and 5 RBI. So they've got quite a two-headed monster out there in right field.
Those guys are doing it all.
Now, there's a lot of depth on Ohio State. They have been building for the last few years, and they've got good balance among the upperclassmen and the underclassmen. Got some ball players here who don't play, who could start for a lot of the other teams in the conference.
That 1-2 punch is, reminds me a lot of Gary Renicky and John Lowenstein with Baltimore a few
Back
years
with the Orioles in the 70s and 80s, sure.
Those guys put some numbers of a superstar up playing half the time.
1-2 to Fry, just outside. And Greg had to look back a little bit at the umpire to make sure he wasn't going to be sitting down. There's a good look at Brent Davis. And there's Greg Fry, senior from Cincinnati, 2-sport athlete here at Ohio State. And a good pitch by Davis, just smoked him right there. Strikeout number 2 for the left-hander from Minnesota.
It'll be sneaky fast. There's a fastball you're going to see belt high right down the middle, and he just blew it right by. I think he's trying to swing too hard, trying to hit the ball too far.
Here's Matt Band, flied out to center field, his first at bat. Band, 298 for the season. 3 home runs, 37 runs batted in. Kurt Marino calling time behind the plate. Inside ball 1. On deck, Jamie Taylor.
Davis is so cool out there. Looked like he could pitch for a week. Just effortless.
Well, both these teams have a lot of pitching. Certainly the deepest pitching staffs in the Big Ten. I think that's what Northwestern's problem was. Northwestern just plain ran out of pitchers. Same with Indiana. On the outside corner, 3-1.
Don't even look like he's broken a sweat yet. Cool, calm, and collected.
Maryland behind second base. Nice play by the second baseman. 2 up and 2 down. Here's Taylor. Taylor went fishing for a 3rd strike. That was back in the 2nd inning. Good look at Maryland from Plymouth, Minnesota. And here is Taylor, who is always exciting when he gets to the plate. As we told you, though, he is having his problems offensively since his home run splurge toward the middle of this season. I mean, he hit 2 in a game we saw against Minnesota at Minneapolis, one of which is still traveling.
Over the light tower went.
Over over the light tower, and the pitchers since have been nibbling at him on the corners. They've been throwing him off speed stuff. And Taylor, as a sophomore, has had a rough time adjusting. There it is again, and this one again. Tamara on the right throw.
You're going to get a steady diet of breaking balls, especially for the left-hander.
Well, Mark Marilla with the easy play there doesn't make it. And instead, it's his third error of the season.
He didn't get totally in front of that ball. Played it off to the side. It does take a bad hop on you. If you're in front of it, the ball's right in front of you. You can pick it up with your bare hand and make a clean throw to first base. Playing it off the side, that's what happens to you.
Here's Dean Mueller, the designated hitter, grounded out short to first, his first at-bat. The infields are hard, but still, you have to concentrate all the time in this one. The pitch, low and inside. We're tied at 1-1. Middle of the fourth inning. Ohio State looking for a Big Ten championship. It will get it if it wins today. If Minnesota wins, they'll play another one tomorrow. We'll have that one for you on Sports Channel. Davis checking out Taylor at first. He has 5 stolen bases, does Jamie. 1-0. Missing outside, it's 2-0.
You may see some movement here with a hidden run. You're going to have to get some things going for them. They got a 1-run lead. Well, the game's tied, but they're going to have to get some things going to break this game open.
Mueller watches this one, and it's right down the middle for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 out. A runner at first on the error is Jamie Taylor, and here is Davis in a 1-1 ball game. A must-win situation for Minnesota. Well, we haven't seen Davis's good move yet. That's just to let him know he's watching him.
There we go. Something's going to have to happen here. Both of these pitchers are on, so you're going to have to manufacture some runs.
And there's a solid base hit the opposite way. Taylor puts on the brakes at second as the throw comes back to Brent Gates. And Minnesota has got a threat going with 2 out. Single to right for Mueller. And the batter is Mr. Anderson, the number 8 hitter. And watch this shot.
Nice piece of hitting. Fastball low and away, and he just goes with it to right field, setting up a situation. We got a guy in scoring position now. And Mr. Anderson comes to the plate.
Jeff Anderson, 3rd-team All Big Ten selection this past year. But as we told you, he has had quite the big bat. Home run on the game-winning single in the first game. Tops this one for a strike. 3-year starter for the Buckeyes. Been in there since his freshman year. 47 runs batted in last year. Regular season this year, he had 42. Switch hitter batting right, rocks this one to left. Could have a play at the plate. Here comes the throw. Plenty of time, and he's safe. And Hartman is arguing, and the runner's glove going further on the bases. The throw looked to be in plenty of time after the single in front of the left fielder, Johnson. But the plate umpire said the runner beat the ball.
That error really looms big here. The left fielder Johnson feels it clean, knows he's got time to make a fine throw. He does, but watch the catcher. He fails to apply the tag, and he's got the ball plenty of time, but didn't put it on him. Taylor with a beautiful slide going around him. He's safe.
Boy, the throw just a little bit up the first baseline, but what a play, what a slide by Jamie Bubba Taylor. And you're right, it was a good call by the plate umpire, Kurt Moreno, because Hartman did not get the ball on him in time. So Taylor scores another RBI for Jeff Anderson. And Ohio State now, after 2 outs, the error and 2 solid base hits has gone back out ahead 2-1. Boy, I like watching Jeff Anderson. Here's a guy who's hitting 8th or 9th, and he's in the upper 40s and runs batted in. Little guy, only 165 pounds. Big conference over here. John Anderson, no relation to Jeff, discussing this with Marino. No action in the Minnesota bullpen. I guess Anderson wanted to get a few things straight with the umpire. Check it. That's Mike Dees, the pitching coach. Dees going out to settle down Brent Davis. A good thing to do after being victimized here in the 4th inning. It all started with 2 outs. Taylor's ball, an error on the second baseman, Merrill. Mueller followed with a single to right. Anderson a single to left. Scoring Taylor, and here's Joe Robinson, who flied out to right field his first time, and strike 1 there from Brent Davis. Pitch in there for strike 2. The 2 runners, Anderson at first, Mueller on second. And Hartman committed an incredible gaffe there, starting to argue with the umpire, neglecting to call timeout. And there it is, strike 3. Robinson goes down, but Minnesota gives up a run to Ohio State, so we go through 4. It's 2-1 Buckeyes.
There was 1 Minnesota error and 2 men left.
Well, Ohio State breaks the tie on this play, and an excellent slide to avoid the tag. Watch here on the throw from Johnson, Jerry.
Here's the throw coming in, and watch the slide here. He's going to go around the catcher and put that hand in. He's safe.
Jamie Taylor, known for his bat, running the bases beautifully right there. Jeff Anderson got him home, and it's a 2-1 Buckeyes lead. And Johnson will lead off for Minnesota. Ryan Lefevre on deck. Mobilia to follow against Tom Schwarber. Both these pitches have shown flashes of brilliance and also flashes of mortality here.
Right.
Down to third base. Jamie Taylor will throw him out.
Now it's the second inning in a row. He comes out, he's throwing breaking ball. He's got the best fastball that I've seen in the Big Ten so far. And now he's starting out, that was hit pretty hard. So you don't want to fall in that pattern of those guys looking for the breaking ball. You want to keep that fastball in the back of their minds and have that breaking ball to trick them.
Here's Lefevre. Ryan taking a pitch for a strike. Fly ball to center field in the second inning. And Lefevre is somebody who can take the pitch wherever it goes and spray it all over the ballpark.
He uses the whole field.
Up a little high. Ohio State fans taking exception to the call.
We have a sea of red out here.
Well, their team's ahead 2-1. Top of the 5th inning. Remember, this game is 9 innings, not 7. And Lefevre, who's probably the best drag bunter in the conference, tries that one there and it fouled off. Bill Mobilia, the freshman, is on deck. Lefevre, another honored performer, not able to play the field because of a late season injury, so that is why he is the designated hitter. And that pitch way outside, it's 2-2. Schwarber throws the heat, and the count is full. Schwarber, one of the co-captains on the Ohio State team. One more win will tie him for a school record for victories with 13. He's 12-1. Fouled back right in front of us. The only loss to these Golden Gophers up in Minnesota in April.
He's a good one.
Now, Minnesota had traditionally has a very difficult early spring, being up north. Again, the pitch fouled back. Count holds at full count, 3-2. The weather obviously is not conducive to playing a lot of baseball, although next year John Anderson says they will be playing inside the Metrodome. They played about 5 games there. Actually, only one of their first 30-something games were played in Siebert Field, their home park.
Right, that hurts.
That's some road trip.
Start the season on the road and not get a chance to play at home for a while. Start down the warmer states in the country.
Well, Schwarber gives up his first base on balls. And with one out, here's Bill Mobilia. Doubtful that Ryan Lefebvre is going to be running. He's got a lot of leg problems now. And here's Mobilia. Struck out looking his first time, and there he goes. Throws in plenty of time. Well, John Anderson trying to cross up Ohio State. They know he's hurt. Durant, who's thrown out better than 40% of the base runners, does it again.
This is not, as you can see, Lefebvre is looking in. This was a hidden run. This was not a steal. The batter Mobilia didn't make contact to protect his runner, so he was thrown out very easily. Wanted to get something going here.
2 outs, nobody on.
Because Tom Schwarber is just blowing the ball by everybody. You have to have some movement on the base path.
Two strikes. 1-2 on Mobilia. Base is empty, 2 away. His team trails 2-1. And again, a breaking ball, this time just missing, and the Ohio State crowd really responding.
Oh, boy.
Up the middle.
Never fails.
Past Wallenberg. And Mobilia gets a hit. And with 2 outs, Darren Schwankel.
That breaking pitch just before that last pitch looked mighty good for me.
Schwankel, the big bat in the first game against Northwestern. He had a big bases loaded single that scored 2 runs. And then with the Cats within a run in the 8th inning, Checkett in the top of the 9th came up with 2 outs and hit another single to drive in his 3rd run. Minnesota winning that ball game 7-5 to get to this point. Northwestern finishing 3rd. Fabulous finish for Coach Paul Stevens. You look at Schwankel, and our congratulations to him and the Wildcats. Paul Stevens being named Big Ten Coach of the Year. A team that won 6 Big Ten games a year ago makes the tournament this year. Right in there for the strike.
Probably can look for Bill Mobilia taking off here. Maybe we'll get a breaking ball in the dirt or something off speed that he can easily steal. If he makes it, fine.
0-2 pitch. Runner holds, and down he goes. Second strikeout of Schwankel. And so we're through 4.5 right now. No runs, a hit, 1 left. It's still 2-1 Ohio State. Welcome back to Ohio State. I'm Mike Lederman along with Jerry Hairston, our Sports Channel audience. This is the Big Ten championship game between Ohio State and Minnesota. The Buckeyes lead it 2-1. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Big Ten Conference and Sports Channel, intended for the private use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or any other stuff using the picture, descriptions, and accounts of this telecast without the prior written consent of the Big Ten office or Sports Channel is prohibited. Keith Klodnik, who had the big home run to left center last time out, leads it off in the 5th inning against Brent Davis. Davis has been touched for a run in each of the last 2 innings. It's a 2-1 ball game, Ohio State. Counts even now at 1-1.
At this point, Keith, it doesn't matter who's out there. If Nolan Ryan's out there, Keith is ready to hit it. Here he goes.
Skates into center field. Base hit again.
Oh, man.
For Klodnik. He is 10 for 11. 10 for 11. That is unbelievable. And that's just for this tournament. Started out with 7 straight hits, went out, and he's got 3 more hits now. So there he is on first base. And this one right up the middle.
The fastball right down the middle, and he hits it right back up the middle. This guy's incredible.
And here is Doug Wallenberg. Wallenberg 0 for 2, a fly out and a ground out. 350 hitter on the regular season. Klodnik a threat to go, and again Minnesota pitches out.
There going to be some movement. The game is just moving right along at a fast pace. Both pitchers doing very well. Whoever gets a base runner, they're going to be moving him, guaranteed.
5 hits so far off Brent Davis. And of the 2 runs, only 1 is earned. Comes with the breaking ball, and that's in there for a strike.
Doug can handle a bat, so look for him hitting the right field behind the runner. It's a big gap between first base and second base.
Davis almost threw that one away on the toss to first. There's Munson holding on the runner, Klodnik. Nobody out. Leadoff man aboard. And Ohio State at bat with a 2-1 lead. Ohio State needs this one victory to lock up the Big Ten championship. If Minnesota wins, they will meet for the 3rd time in 3 days tomorrow, and we'll have that one for you here on Sports Channel. Hope you're enjoying it no matter where you're watching throughout the Midwest. Davis and the bunt.
That's what you want to do on a bunt play. It's either just fair or foul. You don't want it back at that pitcher.
Starting to get a little cooler, and the wind is picking up, but the wind has consistently blown in today. And what had been a real bandbox for home runs has become a much tougher park to hit in, although don't tell that to Klodnik. Gates could be 2. Easy play. Unassisted at second and on to first. So a 6-3 DP if you're scoring at home.
Here it is again. And look at him break for that ball and the poise that he shows. He knows he's behind the bag. He takes his time. Throws a rocket over to first.
So base is empty now. 2 outs. Here's the catcher Mike Durant. 1 for 2. To right field. Munson. Close by, and fine play by Jeff Munson. He's got it. We've seen Munson make that play a couple of times. Fences and tarps don't bother him. Excellent play by the first baseman. And no runs, a hit, nobody left. Still 2-1 Ohio State.
No runs, 1 hit. There were no Minnesota errors, and there were nobody back.
First baseman in the conference. If you'd like to know why Jeff Munson's the best first baseman in the conference, there it is. What a play. In between the fence, the tarp, the speaker, the umpire, a couple of fans, a few small people and pets. First team all-conference first baseman. And here is Mark Merrilla, the second baseman for Minnesota, leading off the 6th. 0 for 2 so far for Merrilla. Strikeout, and a bouncer back to the pitcher. We'll show you the all Big Ten team in a moment. But Munson's name is right on there. Second baseman Anderson can't make this play. I would think it'll go as a base hit. And it is. So Mark Merrilla, with the infield single, is on first base to start the inning. There's the All Big Ten first team. Munson of Minnesota, Tom O'Neill of Wisconsin at second, Brent Gates and Michael Smith both named concurrently at shortstop. Flannelly of Michigan at third base. The catcher is Mike Durant of Ohio State, and we'll pick up everybody else in just a minute. Here is Brent Gates. Down a run, Minnesota with a runner on first base, nobody out. And Merrill, threat to steal. There's the drag bunt by Gates. He may beat this one, but a good play by Schwarber. Gates almost got it past the pitcher, but Schwarber bent that 6'4" frame down and made the play.
They're moving the base runners. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get a guy in scoring position.
Just to go and complete the Big Ten All-Conference first team, Dan Ruff of Michigan in the outfield, along with Mike Stein of Northwestern, the fifth-year senior, and Matt Vita of Ohio State, who's not in the lineup today. Right now, Jeff Munson. Ken Turpak, the Ohio State designated hitter, Scott Klingenbeck of Ohio State, and Dan Jones, the fine right-hander from NU. Those names complete the first team All Big Ten list. Here's Munson. He's 2 for 2 today, 2 singles. First hit fell between the shortstop and the left fielder, but Munson tried to stretch it into a double, and look out! Right into the Minnesota dugout. Kupfer on deck almost got himself a hole right through his body. And behind him, Brian Hartman did a quick duck. One man out, potential tying run at second base, and the outside pitch makes the count 2-1 on Munson, and this of course is the hitter's count. You're looking at Merrill at second. Munson 5 home runs, 16 doubles on the regular season. One after that pitch, which may have been somewhat high. Jeff hit .313 over the regular season with the 5 home runs and 45 runs batted in.
He's an RBI guy, and he knows that, and that's why he wants to. He's so anxious up there to get a pitch that he can hit. Schwarber is keeping the fastball up in the strike zone, and that must be in his mind, in Schwarber's mind, as a spot that he can get the better Munson.
6 hits so far of Schwarber today. Only 1 run. That came back in the 4th inning on a double by Gates and a single by Munson. Well, there's the pitch count. And that's a pretty good one. Just low, maybe a little outside. And we've got a full count here with 1 man away and a runner in scoring position. Kupfer on deck, Hartman to follow. There's a base hit. No. Good play by Anderson at second, and a good stretch at first by Van.
Oh, super play.
Well, it looked to be a lot harder hit than it was. Still, that was quite a play by Anderson, going to his right, breaking on his knees and throwing him out.
As you can see, he had the better Munson off balance, but watch as Anderson rights himself and throws a bullet over to first base.
Oh, another sparkling defensive play. Now with 2 outs, the runner moves to third, and here's Kupfer, and Kupfer fouls this one away, strike 1. We're in the 6th. Ohio State looking to ice down a Big Ten championship at the expense of the Gophers, leading it 2-1. Kupfer 1 for 2, that single, and a scalding shot to Jamie Taylor at third, who made a nice play on it. Runner on third base. 2 away. Up high, and it's ball 2, 2-1. Kupfer, big RBI man, 43 on the regular season, .333 hitter. Here's John. Van giving chase, but that ball is in the crowd.
He's fighting that fastball off. The 2-2 count, we probably see something off speed.
You saw Merrill at third base, led off with a single, sacrificed to second by Gates. Went to third on that sparkling play by Anderson, throwing out Jeff Munson. 2-2 pitch. And again, just hanging on there with a good hack is John Kupfer. Kupfer, one of the co-captains from Minnesota. Senior down the first base line, and this one's foul. A lot of room down that line with Band giving him a couple of steps, playing him to pull. Interesting the way Ohio State plays the outfield, though. They know Schwarber is bringing it, because in center field, Joe Robinson is playing most of the right-handed hitters the opposite way. There you see Robinson, good 3-4 steps over toward the right field line. Big gap in left center.
And Tom is just pouring it in there.
Big gap in left center. Full count now on Kupfer. Schwarber's only given up one walk. That was last inning to Lefevre. 3-2 pitch to center field. Coming in now after he first went out is Robinson. Can't make the play, and holding it first is Kupfer, and Robinson had that ball, although it was giving him a lot of trouble. And we'll check and see what they call it.
Let's see if he gets any help from his second baseman, Jeff Anderson.
It's a hit, but watch here. This ball was held up and driven back to the infield.
Jeff, he's going out, but he's not pointing the ball out. He should be pointing the ball out for a center fielder, letting him know he's got to come in for that ball.
So the tying run scores. The RBI for Kupfer. And we've got a 2-2 ball game with a runner on first, 2 men away, and Brian Hartman the batter. Just think how important that play made over there by Anderson is now.
Same thing happened with Minnesota.
Minnesota has won 16 Big Ten championships. Ohio State has won 8. Pitch is low for a ball. In case you're wondering, the team with the most championships in the conference, Michigan, with 30. The Wolverines not eligible for the tournament this year. They are on probation, but they wouldn't have made it anyway. They missed by half a game. Here's Brian Hartman's facts quickly. Had a single to right back in the second and struck out looking. That was in the fourth.
Some big names have come through Michigan.
Got a big name coach right now. Guy who knew how to do some catching in his day. A fellow by the name of Freehand. Runner bluffs, doesn't go. And now Schwarber has suddenly lost a little bit of that edge, and he's 3-0 to Brian Hartman. On deck is Greg Johnson, the left fielder. Is automatic. Schwarber 12-1 on the year, 6-1 in the Big Ten. Brian Hartman, junior catcher from Arlington, Minnesota. Clutch spot for him. There goes the runner, and this is driven into the gap in right center. Robinson coming over. Fry is there. So, a run, a couple of hits, one left, and what do you know?
For Minnesota in the 6th,
5.5. We're tied at 2.
Ohio State errors. There was 1 runner left.
We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Meat of the order coming up for Ohio State. 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Greg Fry, the right fielder. Matt Bann, the first baseman. And then the Big Ten home run leader, Jamie Taylor. There is Fry, 2 home runs yesterday. He's been held in check today with a fly out and a strikeout in 2 trips. Brent Davis, as you look at Fry, once again finds himself even up in this ball game. Inside corner, a strike. There is action in the Ohio State bullpen. You're looking at Davis. No action in the Minnesota pen. Bob Worley, the sophomore, throwing for Ohio State. Davis only one complete game so far this year. He has made 8 starts. Greg Fry in right field. 0 for 2 on the day. Trying to start something off here for the Buckeyes. Teams are tied at 2. Mike Liederman with Jerry Hairston. Our Sports Channel crew from Columbus, Ohio. Counts even at 1-1. Davis doesn't look like he's losing anything, Jerry.
No, he's as steady as she goes. He's very calm and collected out there. Got a great idea of what he wants to do. Let's see if he pulls the string right here.
1-2 pitch. He does, but it's high.
Yeah, bad spot.
Davis has been used in middle relief, short relief, as well as a starter. Humming along right here.
Oh.
And just as we say that, forget this one. To the wall and off it. Well, Davis may have been humming, but Greg Fry has him singing a different tune right now. Again, that was a ball that would have been out of here on just about any other day, but with that wind, we've got to figure about 12 to 15 miles an hour blowing in. Kept this one in the ballpark.
Yeah, you got a fastball up in the strike zone, and Greg Fry turns on it. On any other day, that's out into the parking lot. High off the wall, and he's in there with a stand-up double.
And just like that, we're going to get some action in the Minnesota bullpen. Eric Slagle, a right-hander, is going to throw. And J.T. Gilbert, who pitched in the first game today. And that's Slagle, number 31, Gilbert, number 32. A couple of right-handers in the pen for John Anderson. Meanwhile, it is still Davis's ball game right here. The left-hander is going to face Matt Ban, and Ban 0 for 2, a fly out and a ground out to second his last trip. There's some concentration on the part of both the pitcher and the batter.
See if he have Matt Bunning right here.
To the right side, and again a beautiful hit. Coming around, here's the throw. Safe at the plate is Greg Fry. Heading behind the runner to the right side. Boy, that's what coaches love to teach. You can't blame Bob Todd for smiling if indeed he did.
When you can handle a bat like that, there's no need for a bunt. Get him over, get him in. Look at that fastball away, and he drills it through the right side of the infield. Fine throw by John Kofer, but not enough to catch the speedy Greg Fry. Nice slide.
So the 8th hit off Brent Davis, and now the tie is again broken.
In a hurry.
These teams have never been more than a run apart. The ball is caught off the bat of Taylor. An alert play by the pitcher, and staying at first base, Matt Ban.
Here's where the playoffs are different. Here we see Big Bubba squaring the bunt, probably the first time he's hit the bunt all year. And he pops it up. A fine play by pitcher Brent Davis. In the playoffs, you got to do those little things in order for your club to win, put that sure victory in their pocket. So everybody has to do the little things and possibly some things they hadn't done all year.
Taylor could not move the runner along, so there's one out, and here's Dean Mueller, and Mueller is swinging at his pitch in the dirt. 1 for 2, singled his last time up. In fairness to Taylor, he had 3 sacrifices this year, but could not get the ball down that time, and a good play by Brent Davis he's naturally moving toward third base when he finishes his delivery, and he made the play. Here again, an attempted bunt by Dean Mueller, and fouled at the plate. 3-2 Ohio State in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Ohio State got the first run. Minnesota came back to tie in the 4th. Ohio State untied it in the 5th. Minnesota tied it in the top of the 6th, and here we are in the bottom of the 6th. Ohio State now 3-2. One, two, the count now on Dean Mueller. Mueller, we told you, got his chance to play consistently when Ken Turpak, the regular designated hitter, went out with an injury a week or so ago. Outside again. Turpak, the all Big Ten first team DH, injured in a collision in Michigan State, tore his spleen and was rushed to the hospital, but he is okay, so he will be back, but not this season. And the swinging strike 3. Strikeout number 3 for Brent Davis.
Second baseman,
Nice off-speed breaking ball from Brent Davis. A great spot, low and in. Not a whole lot you can do with that one.
The action continues in the Minnesota bullpen now. With 2 men away, here is Jeff Anderson. RBI single his last time up with 2 outs. In a similar spot here. Anderson 318 in the regular season. There's a look over at first base. Matt Mann. Through the hole at short. Mann holds at second. Anderson has another hit. He's 2 for 3. And with 2 outs, Joe Robinson
center fielder Joe Robinson
will come to the plate. Robinson 0 for 2. And the throwing becomes a little harder in the Minnesota bullpen. 9th hit off Brent Davis. Two out. Ban at second. Anderson at first. There's a look at the Minnesota bullpen. Gilbert and Slagle. Gilbert on the right, Slagle on the left. Back to action. The pitch is in there on the outside corner. Strike 1. Robinson, another young player who's getting a chance with the left-hander in there. 250 hitter with 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in during the regular season. 2 men out here in the 6th.
Got a chance to put his team up by 2. Little base hit here.
The count in Brent Davis's favor, 0-2. And again, he comes with the breaking pitch, just a teaser up high. They're not playing Robinson particularly deep, especially with the wind blowing in. And there's the strike 3. And Davis holds the 4th. But the Buckeyes come up with another run on 3 hits, a couple left. So we move to the 7th inning, and Ohio State leads it again, 3-2 over the Gophers.
1 run on 3 hits. There were no Minnesota.
Well, heading for the top of the 7th, 3-9-0 for Ohio State, 2-8-1 for Minnesota. This is a 9-inning ball game, as all tournament games are in the Big Ten. Regular season games are 7 innings, and there is Tom Schwarber, who has started 12 times, completed 6, this in the 7-inning format. And there's his pitch count. He's thrown a lot of them, but good ratio. Facing the bottom third of the order, here's Greg Johnson. Johnson grounded into a double play and then grounded to third. Still looking for his first hit. The left fielder. Schwarber now at 2-0. Both bullpens are quiet. Johnson will be followed by Ryan Lefevre and then Mobilia, the next two scheduled hitters. The 2-0 pitch is right in there. It's 2-1. The sun has been trying to break through on occasion. It is cloudy now. The threat of rain has been with us most of the day, but it seems to have dissipated some. Faking the bunt. The pitch is low. It's 3-1. And right in there again. So a full count. And Greg Johnson, the leadoff batter here in the 7th for Minnesota. Worley back warming up in the bullpen for Ohio State. Swing is checked and the ball behind home plate foul.
I noticed Tom shook the catcher off before he threw the pitch, and everybody in the ballpark knows what's coming.
There's Worley, a right-handed sophomore from Westerville, Ohio. And here's Greg Johnson to Taylor. Nice arm by Jamie Taylor.
He's solid down there at third.
For the third time, Johnson goes out to the left side of the infield, and Ryan Lefevre walked his last time, thrown out on an attempted steal and a hit-and-run play. Flied out earlier. So he is officially 0 for 1. Sophomore from Los Angeles. Boy, his father's team's doing real well, isn't it?
First place.
Seattle Mariners in first place. Terms that you don't normally think go together. But they are. And there is a base hit. Lefevre bad, ankle and all, singling to left. So now we'll see what John Anderson does. Remember, he ran Lefevre last time, and Ryan was thrown out by a lot as Mobilia could not make contact with the pitch on the hit and run.
Evidently, he's got a lot of confidence in Mobilia making contact. He didn't execute last time, but still, you have that combination again, so you can look for it again. They need to score a run right here, get some guys in scoring position, manufacture a run. A bunt play doesn't make a whole lot of sense because Lefevre probably couldn't make it down if it's not a very good bunt. So what they're going to do is now a pinch runner.
We may get, yeah, it looks like Lefevre is coming off. And we'll see who they are sending in to run. You know he's got to be very disappointed. Here's one of the mainstays, certainly the best defensive outfielder on the team, if not in the entire conference. And Charlie Nelson, a freshman, is going to go in to run for him, number 6. Nelson, who played a lot earlier in the year, did a good job for him as a freshman, but when they moved Johnson back to the outfield, that was Nelson's spot. There's Charlie Nelson.
Now running at first for Minnesota.
Freshman from Perham, Minnesota. So he officially is in the DH spot now. We'll see what John Anderson wants to do. Stepping up now is Mobilia, and Billy, who after seeing Lefevre get thrown out, followed with a single to center field. And this pitch from Schwarber is in there.
They're going to have to put on a play here. They're going to have to get somebody moving and in the scoring position. If you put on a hit and run and they execute, you can have a first and third situation and have Ohio State in deep trouble.
The runner does not go, and the pitch is low for a ball, 1-1. Charlie Nelson will steal a base. As a matter of fact, he's the second leading base stealer on this team, having stolen 10 in 13 attempts. Mobilia fouling it back. Nelson not going here. It's a one-run ball game. If Minnesota wins, it forces a third game between these two teams to decide the champion. If Ohio State wins, the Buckeyes are the champions of the Big Ten for the first time in 24 years. 67. Last time they won it. They had won it in 65 and 66. 66, they won the whole thing. They were college baseball champions that year. Mobilia hanging in there, making contact at 1 and 2.
He's late on the fastball, so we can look for Schwarber to keep pouring it in there, probably in a different spot, probably walk up the ladder with him. Try to get him to chase a high fastball. Pop him up or make him swing through it.
Minnesota, the second place finisher in the Big Ten. Both teams went into the final 4-game series tied, but Ohio State swept Indiana, and Michigan got 2 wins in 4 tries against the Gophers. So that ended up with the final spread of 2 games. Indiana and Northwestern tied for third. Indiana officially the third place finisher with a better record against the Wildcats. And in the tournament, Indiana was 2 and out. Now we take a look. That is one of the problems. Parking near the field. And down goes Mobilia. Strikeout number 7 for Tom Schwarber.
He just overpowers Mobilia here. He threw him about 6 fastballs in a row. He could never catch up to it. He's blazing it in there. He's just as strong now as he was when he started.
Well, we have watched both these pitches look unhittable to one batter and then seem to falter for 2 or 3. Darren Schwankel struck out the last 2 times he's faced Schwarber. Flied out the first time, so he's 0 for 3. And he had a big first game with 3 runs batted in against Northwestern. At first base, running for Lefevre is Charlie Nelson. And Schwarber just letting him know he's watching him.
The center fielder Joe Robinson is playing to the right side, creating a big gap in left center, in which Schwarber throwing so hard. I would think he should shade him the other way.
Well, Schwarber has had Schwankel's number. He might just bring all 3 outfielders in the way he's throwing to him. There's the spread. Center fielder Robinson a couple of steps to the left. To his left, actually. To the right of second base. 0-2 to Schwankel. There goes the runner. Pitch is high.
Dead duck.
And once again, Durant throws him out. Well, Mike Durant with the cannon. No runs, a hit, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. They're stretching here at Ohio State. The Buckeyes leading it 3-2. The 7th inning stretch has been stretched here at Troutman Field in Columbus. They are cheering on their hometown Buckeyes, and Ohio State is leading this one against Minnesota 3-2. And leading off in the bottom of the 7th, guess who for Ohio State? Only Keith Klodnick, who's done nothing except get 10 hits in his last 11 at-bats.
He's on fire.
Hey, he's the Chicago Fire, San Francisco Earthquake, and 17 rocket launches all rolled into one. 7 for his first 7, then made an out last time up yesterday. And today's 3 for 3, 2 singles and a home run. Ooh. And Mr. Davis just wants to let him know who's throwing the ball.
That's right. Keith seems to be on cruise control, so he wants to back him out of there and let him think a little bit. Oh,
and there's another one. Deep to left. Back. and just fouled. It's 340 down that line, and there was no issue as to whether the ball would carry over the fence, but the wind just a little bit early. Klodnik's got to see that ball as big as the moon right now. Oh.
He backed him out and made him mad. But as you can see, Brent Davis, he's not shaking at all. He's just as cool out there.
Hey, a strike's a strike, right?
Yeah, I like this guy.
Klodnik had a home run yesterday, home run today. And all they did the first game was go 4 for 4. Two 2-1 pitch. All even at 2-2. Wollenberg on deck. Mike Durant to follow. You hear the crowd. 2-2 pitch. And another windshield may be in danger. Yeah.
It's one thing about Keith here. He's having a great at bat here. He's seeing the ball so well, and this could prove to be Brent Davis's downfall here because he's really working him hard.
Foul in the box. Still 2-2. No action in either bullpen right now. Both starters have gone all the way.
Probably thrown about 7 or 8 pitches to him already.
Klodnik, 5th in batting in the Big Ten 2 years ago, hit .345 the regular season this year. Now he's hitting .900. Oh my. Can you imagine you go 3 for 4 and your average drops? They talk about an expression, not getting cheated. My gosh. He's getting hacks.
He's got control of that dish up there.
Davis works 2-2. Mobilia throws him out. Well, I guess the entire Minnesota dugout can heave a collective sigh of relief. Mr. Klodnik has been dispensed with for the first time all day.
Shortstop, Doug Wollenberg.
Brings up Doug Wollenberg, and Wollenberg looking for his first hit. Fly out, 2 ground outs. .350 hitter during the regular season. Ohio State with the 1-run lead. They win this, they win the Big Ten championship. Minnesota wins, we play again tomorrow. We are in the 7th inning. Generally well played ball game. Only 1 error, and that was committed by Minnesota. And it led to a run. 2-0 the count. Runs batted in for Ohio State. Anderson, Matt Bann, and Keith Klodnik. Klodnik on the home run. And Wollenberg turned on that one.
I could see it coming, Mike. As soon as the pitcher, Brent Davis, released that pitch, I knew it was going to get drilled somewhere.
Well, John Anderson has just sent a lot of troops down to the bullpen. Gilbert again. Right-handed relief pitcher will be warming up. Keith Cranky, an outfielder, has also gone down. He's usually a late inning defensive replacement. Pitch is in, it's 2-2.
Davis is really moving that fastball around in the strike zone. There, the batter drilled one foul from the inside corner, then he went right back to the outside.
Wollenberg hits this one to the outfield grass and right, and Merrill makes the play over his shoulder. Nice play.
Catcher, Mike Durant.
Martin Merrill taking a look at the bullpen. Lowry is the left-hander and Gilbert the right-hander. Lowry pitched yesterday. And here is Durant, but there is Johnson. So some well-hit baseballs, but no damage done here in the 7th inning. 1-2-3, and it's still 3-2 Ohio State as we're through 7. There's your score, and you look at John Anderson, whose team is trailing by 1, 3-2. He's been at Minnesota since 1982. Actually, he's been there a lot longer. Graduated from Minnesota, came to pitch under Dick Siebert, the longtime coach of the Golden Gophers. Hurt his arm, but stuck around and became the manager, later an assistant coach. And for the past decade, the coach of the Gophers, who's taken them to 3 Big Ten championships. And there is Bob Todd, who's had his team in the playoffs for the past 4 years. Every year he has been at Ohio State. And Bob is looking forward to the NCAA tournament.
Number 42, Darren Schwankel.
Ohio State will get a bid, one of the 48 teams, regardless of whether or not it wins the Big Ten, almost assuredly. And here is Darren Schwankel leading off, and Schwankel, a strikeout victim a couple of times, lost this one to center. Joe Robinson takes it for the first out.
His first pitch hitting, that's not a very good idea. You want to get Schwarber to work as hard as he can, make him throw as many pitches as he can, maybe wear him down some. So first pitch swinging, that's not a very good idea for this club.
Schwarber, 6 complete games out of 12 he has started. And again, a complete game in the regular season is 7 innings. He is in the 8th right now. And the strike to Mark Merrill. On deck is Brent Gates. Staying with the hop is Matt Band. Two up and 2 down. People watching baseball don't realize that these are not major league infields, and that as easy as the hop might look, they are very, very tricky. And this is not to knock the grounds crews here at all, but when you talk about a major league operation compared to a college operation, certainly there's no comparison in terms of the amount of money that's spent and invested. And those hops can be pretty mean. Here's Brent Gates, switch hitter, batting left. Gates gave himself up for the club, and that led to a run. Executing his sacrifice back in the 6th inning to move Mark Merrill along. He later came around to score.
Brent is looking for something he can drive over that fence at this point.
Well, Gates has a double in 3 trips, 2 official ones. Came around to score himself. That was in the 4th inning. This one out to Anderson at second. And 1, 2, 3, the Gophers are down. So Minnesota will have one more shot at it. Ohio State will get up and try to pad the lead. Fry, Van, and Taylor, the scheduled hitters. 3-2 Buckeyes.
Greg Fry.
Bottom of the 8th, Ohio State looking to add to its 1-run lead here at home. We'll send up Greg Fry, Matt Van, and Jamie Taylor. The number is 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the order. Greg Fry doubled his last time up and came around to score the tie-breaking run of this ball game. Ohio State with single runs in each of the 3rd, 4th, and 6th innings. Minnesota in the 4th and 6th got a run there too. So it's 3-2 Ohio State. I'm Mike Lederman with Jerry Hairston. This one's foul, backing out of play. Brent Davis been in there all the way. He's given up 9 hits and the 3 runs.
Hadn't broke a sweat yet either.
Very cool operator on the mound. There he is. Brent Davis, he's a junior from Minnetonka, Minnesota. Must have good shoes then. They make those good moccasins out there. And there is Greg Fry. Fry from Cincinnati, so you know they eat well, right?
He's a big guy.
Good food in Cincinnati. Count is 1-1. The wind is picking up and continues to blow in. Down the line and foul. Past Mobilia. Didn't show a lot of mobility right there on that one, but he knew it was foul.
He's got him playing right on the line. I guess to contain him from a double down the line.
Late innings.
They're losing.
Outfield is deep, swung around toward left. And the count's 2-2. And the count is full. While we have a chance, we'd like to thank all the sports information directors, the coaches and their staffs here throughout the Big Ten Conference, not only here at Ohio State. Steve Snap, the sports information director. Over at Minnesota, Bill Crumley is the assistant sports information director. And this one is foul, and Hartman can't quite get there. These folks have been extremely helpful to us, the coaches and the sports information fellas, throughout this Big Ten series here on SportsChan. We hope you've enjoyed it. And we may not be through after this game. If Minnesota comes back and wins it, we got one more to go. See Mark Rudner, the assistant Big Ten commissioner for communications and whatever else, just about everything else, is sitting here today. Mark made the long trek from Schaumburg over to Columbus.
Three and 2. Greg is looking to do some damage here.
And Davis knew it and threw him one in the dirt.
A little bit over anxious.
So for the second time, Fry goes down and add the put out catcher to the first baseman. There's a view from wherever. There we go. Tickets are inexpensive, but some people still prefer to watch it through the old knothole. That's the 1991 version of the knothole. Matt Band to right field. Cupford takes it. 2 away. And here is an overdue Jamie Taylor.
Third baseman.
Taylor, a big swinger, had an important at-bat, grounding to the second baseman, but got on safely when Merrill let the ball go past him and came around to score the second Ohio State run. Bubba, 14 home runs on the year.
Hanging breaking ball right in his face there. You have to get that down. Bubba right now seems to be thinking too much at the plate now. That's something you can't do. You have to just see the ball, hit the ball, react to what you see.
Takes that one for ball 2. Taylor, regular season batting average 309, 13 home runs. He hit another one in the playoffs, 51 runs batted in. There he is, a sophomore. And they're throwing him nothing but breaking stuff. But right now it's 3-0.
I'm surprised they didn't have him swinging there. Fastball's coming. Home run hitter. Just a 1-run lead late in the innings. Let him swing it.
Davis comes 3-1. Finding the outside corner with that one.
Then he paints him outside. Fastball out in the corner. Now it's 3-2. What's he going to do right here? Probably another slider.
That's been the pattern. Taylor's had problems with the breaking pitches.
There it is.
Down he goes for the second time. So, 9th inning now. Minnesota do or die. It's 3-2 Ohio State. The crowd on its feet. We'll be back. Well, here we are in our perch behind home plate. Jerry, this is the inning. Minnesota certainly has got some good lumber coming up, but Ohio State 3 outs away from a Big Ten championship.
They're going to have to do some swinging and running and doing some things to manufacture a run here to get back to this ball game.
Well, the fans are obviously excited about this one. Ohio State finished second last year, third the year before, and fourth the year before that. And they're looking to lock this one down. Tom Schwarber has given up but 2 runs. He has given up 9 hits. He has struck out 7 men. And here is Jeff Munson, and Munson takes this one, ball 1. Munson 2 for 3. And only a sparkling play by the second baseman Merrill that kept him from having a perfect day. And that one found the inside corner. The pitch, strike 1. Tom Schwarber looking for his 13th and biggest win of the season. Taylor. Bubba guns him out.
He's been steady down at third base, even though he's not swinging the bat that well. It has not affected him in the field. He's made 3 or 4 fine plays today.
Jamie Taylor, an outstanding fielder. His hitting caught up with him this year, and he's been an excellent hitter. Then, as you said, Jerry, even if you're not going well at the plate, at bat, he's doing fine in the field. Here is Kupfer. He also 2 for 3 and sends this one to center, but a lot of room for Robinson.
The fans can feel it. It's noisy here at Ohio State.
Well, you take a look at the crowd, and they are on their feet. With 2 outs, Tom Schwarber collecting himself, taking a big breath. There's the crowd. A lot of white and gray. White and gray and red and gray, we should say. Brian Hartman. The last obstacle between Ohio State and a Big Ten crown. Hartman 1 for 3. Singled in the second, struck out looking in the 5th, flied to right in the 6th, and here he is in the 9th facing Schwarber.
Whoever wins, this has been a super ball game. Both pitchers doing a fine job keeping their club within striking distance.
Taylor has the play. A happy bunch of scarlet, gray, and white Buckeyes. Somewhere under there is a winning pitcher by the name of Tom Schwarber, as Ohio State has done it. At home, ranked among the top 15 teams in the country, the Buckeyes have taken their first Big Ten championship in 24 years, and now it's on to the NCAAs. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left for Minnesota. That's the end of the ball game with the final score. The Buckeyes 3, the Golden Gophers 2. We'll be back in just a minute. So 1991 turned out to be the year of the Buckeyes in Big Ten baseball anyway, as the Ohio State Buckeyes win the conference championship with a tough 3-2 victory over the University of Minnesota. Jerry, a good ball game to watch.
Super game to watch. Both pitchers kept their teams within striking distance. Brent Davis really showing his stuff as a fine pitcher, keeping the ball down, containing that Ohio State power, even though that A few times we saw the outfielders' backs to the wall, but this wind really helped contain them as well. On the other hand, we had another fine pitcher in this game, Tom Schwarber, who really poured on the gas today and really mowed down those Minnesota batters.
Schwarber 13-1 for the season, and he's not through yet. They're going to be going to the NCAA tournament. Minnesota may be getting a bid as well. Of course, we won't know that for another day or so. Neither team led by more than 1 run in this ball game, and if there was a key play, it came back in the 4th inning. After 2 outs, an error, and a couple of hits, the last hit seemed to be not enough to score the run. The throw seemed to be there in plenty of time as Jamie Taylor came around third.
Yeah, the left fielder Johnson got the ball on 1 hop and threw a strike to Hartman at the plate, but Jamie Taylor, a fine slide, getting his hand through and getting around the tag.
So the final score, 3-2. Ohio State finishing 4th 3 years ago, 3rd 2 years ago, and 2nd last year. Well, they take home the crown this year in 1991. We hope you've enjoyed it. Jerry, good working with you. This game has been produced by John LaChance, directed by Steve Warren. The coordinating producer is Greg Bowman. Executive producer for Sports Channel is John Toohey. Remote facilities provided by SportsCom Enterprises. Once again, the final score, Ohio State 3, Minnesota 2. For Jerry Hairston, I'm Mike Lederman saying so long from Columbus, Ohio. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of Sports Channel. So long, everybody.